My first encounter with the zombie cows happened on an undisclosed military planet, way far off. You probably never heard of it. And if you have, we couldn't talk about it anyway. Sprawling hills as far as the eye could see, and not a single speck of grass on the entire planet. Me and my team landed next to a military base. It was in complete disrepair. We had expected that, of course. The planet had been abandoned a few centuries before our arrival. Those details aren't very important. What is important is what happened after we started our march to the other military base, only about 3 miles southwest of our landing. We weren't but a quarter mile off the base when the sirens began to ring. The fact that there hadn't been power for who knows how long was enough for us to decide that anything in the next base wasn't worth our lives. We decided that we should leave ASAP, but I wasn't as worried as everybody else, and I started to lag behind. As the base came back into view, I felt a tug on my left pant leg. I had accidentally gotten stuck in some rusty barbed wire. I told my team that it wasn't anything to worry about and that I wouldn't be far behind. I was wrong. It seemed simple enough to remove myself, but in only a few moments I was on my back, hopelessly tangled in the wire. I pulled out some pliers I had in my pocket and began cutting my way free. In that second, I saw 2 silhouettes on the horizon, leisurely walking in my direction. Blood already pumping, this did not calm me down. Desperately trying to free myself, they grew closer and closer, and I only seemed to become more tangled in the dreaded wire. I kept cutting until they were almost upon me. More mangled than I had become in the wire, it was a terrible sight. 2 cows, more bone than flesh. Adrenaline was fast in my system, but there wasn't a fight to be had on my back, and without a weapon, I had nearly accepted my fate. Eaten by some zombie cows on a planet in the middle of nowhere. That's really sad, I thought to myself, but I didn't have time to keep thinking about how sad that would be, as they were already at my feet. Before I could even prepare to die, one of them spoke. All of the fear in my body disappeared and was replaced with nothing but shock. Talking zombie cows are going to eat me. This looks mighty tasty, don't you think? Yes, I would say he looks quite tasty. Would you like to have the first bite? Well, that is awfully kind of you. Don't mind if I do. They began nibbling on my toes. I almost thought my suit might offer me some protection, but after a few bites, I knew I was wrong. I awoke only 2 hours later in my ship's medbay, with 2 new shiny metal feet. Besides that, in the cut from the wire, I was in nearly perfect health. My crew told me they came back for me after 20 minutes, only to see that I was being eaten alive by those blasted zombie cows. They also mentioned that their weapons didn't seem to have any effect on the cows, and that they lazily walked away after seeing that they were outnumbered. At that time, I could only hope that fate had different plans for me, but that wasn't the last time I encountered the zombie cows.